Just the way like me, I remove my like when I see a TikTok has very few likes. Which is horrible, but like there's a psychological effect that happens when you see artists have plaques on their wall. That success makes people want to be affiliated with that artist and that individual.
Yeah, it does.
And so I feel like it does. And so I feel like if you have a certification, more people are going to listen to your music. More brands and corporates are going to like give you a little bit of a listening ear. It kind of increases the value or the perceived value of music.
Perceived is important, yeah. That's perceived value.
Mi niko kazi, daily niko mboka na grind nitaje kama ganji itatoka naenda fana bado ni mbali nimetoka mbato kusota huku si tunaomoka leta mboka koko ready kutoboka sini madabu anakumajoka kama shini sauski sezi choka tuko joko game buda na si atisoka ni mael na mawins tukisonga ukileta za kuleta tunakugonga kani masensa sit na waonga na kama we ni jenja mnarada kile na bonga yo mini dipe na wakashi na watajia maibe wanakafi uliza kibla mboka ni safi na kama we ni heta so skipigwa ngavyo.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the 30% podcast, episode 179. My name is Sam. As always, I am joined by Afam. As always, the 30% pod boys. I almost got that wrong. Got our own catchphrase wrong.
Poi boys. Poi boys.
The 30% poi boys. And yeah, we've been doing this thing for 179 weeks. In theory, it's more than that. But we're on here talking about the Kenyan music industry, the good, the bad, the ugly. Just trying to shine some light and have conversations that are necessary. Yeah, we enjoy doing this. What's going on?
Yo,
how's your life?
A flimsy African man like myself can't complain. Do you know why I'm calling myself flimsy? I've realized.
I bet you tell us.
I've realized I'm very easily influenced. The reason why I say this, or de-influenced, because everyone has been really talking about like the Michael Jackson movie negatively, and me, I wanted to watch it, and now I don't want to watch it.
Yo, don't be a follower. Throw it on. And have an opinion for yourself.
Bro, me, I'm such a follower. Listen, like, you know, like when you, especially like when I'm on TikTok and I see like a video has like 5 likes and I liked it, I take away my like because I'm like, nah, it's too little likes. The likes are too little.
No. You can't take away the likes. You can't take away your likes. You can't. Someone has already screenshotted it. So whoever is stalking you has screenshotted it and kept it for their receipts.
I'm so easily de-influenced, man. Like me, when I see opinions of something like that I wanted to watch, and then I see negative opinions, I'm just like, you know what? Maybe not.
You know how? Cause I get that because sometimes that happens. Like after I watch a football game and like an Arsenal game, and in my mind I'm like, these guys were goofing around completely, and then I go on to no, it's actually the other way around. Like in my mind I'm like, all right, I mean, it was a terrible game, but at least there's some positives. And then you go on X and they're absolutely ripping into everybody. Then I'm like, wait.
And then now you start to wonder.
That game was kind of terrible, honestly.
Yeah, that game was, Your whole opinion all changes. Now it's
that's
like even
crazy, but that's social media. That's how social media is, man.
But that's what a lot of people go through on social media, where they like people just change their entire beings because somebody on social media said, this and this, and now you're like completely agreeing and siding with them and changing your entire outlook on life. It's horrible, but I'm part of those people.
You need to have thick. You need to have thick skin on social media, man. I was in the shower and I was just thinking, like, we've staked entirely too much on social media. Honestly, like everything, it's all about opinions. Like everything is about opinions, and it's about bringing the most attention to yourself. And that has completely skewed our reactions and our natural thoughts. And because now everyone is in the whole hive mind state.
Hive mind, that's what it is.
It's in the whole hive mind state
going on.
So I've actually learned how to, like, when something big happens, especially like in football, I've learned not to rush through social media, because I used to do that. Like even it gets really bad because in the game, I'm watching the game on TV and my ex is up scrolling to see what Rory Talks Football is saying about the game to see whether I agree with him. It's like, no, man, just turn it off and watch the game. Enjoy Zubimendi's sideways passing for yourself.
And just form your own opinions.
Yeah,
that's what's necessary. Like for me, I should go and watch the movie and decide whether it's trash
whether you
or
like
not.
it or not.
You know what I mean?
Don't listen to people.
Don't listen to people.
It's just, even in addition to that, I was also thinking about how, like, on social media, nothing is ever neutral. I don't know if you've noticed this. It's
You have to be on
of all
the
time,
opposing ends.
or it's top 3, or this specific thing is not talked about
it's
enough.
It's top 3 and it's not 3 or 2.
Yeah, like we threw about greatest of all time. Like we started throwing about how I love, like, you know how people say they love things because of that hat on social media. Like, oh, I love this cup of coffee. You wouldn't die for that cup of coffee, though. You don't really love
Everything
it.
Has to
like
be extremely polarized.
Yeah, it's so sensationalized. We live in a sensationalized world for just nothing. Oh, winter is the greatest. I'm just like, bro, it's just weather.
But now that we know this is a thing, if we're bringing it back to music industry, you need to take advantage of that.
That's what we're doing.
Take advantage of the fact that people are sheep and they're easily influenced or de-influenced, like me.
Take advantage of people being sheep.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole reason why. That's the whole reason people form like fan pages of, like, somebody will go and form like 15 fan pages and act like, oh my God, it's so delusional.
It is. We're living in extremes. We're just living in extremes.
But it works though. It works because now people will see, oh my God, there's this 15 different pages bigging up Afam's music. It must be good. And then now people are like, yeah, this is actually really good. And now you go and everyone is listening to that stuff.
But that's a strategy.
Horrible.
That's a strategy as artists.
See, that's the strategy.
Like there's, it's part of your managers and marketing, which when you're starting is usually you, but then it's part of your team to create fan pages for you, because that helps with fanfare. A lot of them create fan pages and then they buy followers so that it looks like there's people actually following this thing, and then they start to influence. But don't do that. Just it's part of the whole strategy when you become like a big artist to have a fan page of yourself.
There was a lady I was seeing on TikTok who was saying she's tired. She's tired of music being marketed to her.
Me too.
She's like, I'm just
lady.
tired.
Me too.
You know what? Say, me, I'm tired of people marketing their music. But this is as a consumer. But this is such a hard, like, thing to contend with, because then as an artist, then what do? You know what I mean? And then I was looking at the comments and then everyone was like, yeah, you know what, like, artists need to just pair their music with like videos so that the music isn't the main thing of like that I'm consuming as a consumer, like it's the video. And then if the video is nice and the music meshes, then, you know, I might check out the music. So essentially, like, if you make like an edit or a montage with like let's say the Creed movie came out, and then you put your music there, and then it's like the edit is actually cool, and now people are like, wait, the edit actually eats with the music. Now I'm going to check out the music. But it's like so tiring being an artist. Now you have to think about all that stuff. Now I have to like be editing.
Bring back the days of taking out a page in the
this.
newspaper, bro. Bring out the days of having billboards. Guys are doing entirely too much. Get into whole relationships just so that they can sell you some music. It's just a lot. It's entirely too much. I get it, because that's where we're headed, obviously, and it's also part of that sensationalization of just like extremes of where we live, because you have to do more now for the same amount of attention. It's a drug.
Yeah,
attention is a drug. You have to do more these days for the same amount of attention people were getting off just throwing a billboard up in the middle of the city, and they're like, oh, look at that. Oh, that's cool.
I'd say you have to do more on social media, but I feel like people don't do enough in real life.
Okay. Say more words.
Which is why I feel like so for those of you who, and a lot of people hate Drake nowadays, but like for those of you,
like, you really that's the whole thing. That's what I'm talking about. The world is so bipolar. You can't love Drake and
you can't be in the middle. You can't. You either hate him or love him.
And he's an artist. He was an artist before beef. Like can you just?
I know. Beef is another.
lost
Speaking
all.
of beef, like a friend of mine was telling me, yo, you should watch Beef season 2. Beef is a show on Netflix.
Yeah, I know about
And season 1, season 1 was amazing, and season 2, she was like, yo, watch Beef, and I was like so excited because I was like, yo, you know what? It seems like it's really good. Then I went on social media and
Why?
there was a bunch of people shitting on Beef season 2, and now I was like, you know what? Maybe I don't want to watch this
that's
anymore.
how many
So I'm like,
lives
I'm
have
so
been
easily
ruined by that
de-influenced.
sentence. Ruined by
I'm
then
so
I went on
easily
social media.
I know, it's so bad. I need to form my own decisions. But anyway, I was saying the reason why I don't think people do enough in real life is they just don't. Like, people rely too much on social media, and that's why I bring Drake in. Like, his rollout for his new project Iceman, which is coming out in May 15th, it actually opened up a lot of conversation. Because people were like, yo, bring back old school rollouts where it's like, like there's an actual thing that you can interact with and stuff like that. Back in the day, people would create tons of billboards, or like they'll partner with like a movie rollout, or like
partner
something,
with
and
fast
like
food joints. Yeah, like something tangible, something real.
Like, there'll be action figures. Like,
It's
when
not-
Travis Scott was rolling out his like projects, he had the action figures and stuff like that. Like,
the rollout is not
this-
hidden in some foreign philosophy that we have to decipher and break down and have think pieces about. It's very simple. It's a block of ice in the middle of the city.
And but it gets people like involved. People were out there in Toronto literally with blow torches, or like whatever, like those hammers, those industrial hammers, trying to break the ice. And I think that's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, he ended up using another streamer called Kishka, and he told him, yo, if I'd check from the top if I were you. And so Kishka had leakage, and he goes at the top, and then he eventually finds the thing, and then he goes to Drake's house. It was very orchestrated, I can't lie, but highly interesting. And the question I want to ask you is, do you think we need more like physical rollouts? Like, this is like, is that something we are missing? Because a lot of people do, like, okay, people will do listening parties and stuff like that, but that's not really roll out stuff.
That's like for the fans. That's for the fans. Because rollouts are to
and the industry players
get people who are not otherwise tapped in to pay attention, right? Listening parties are more for like your fans and people who are already on your team.
Exactly. And so I think we do need more like physical rollouts where it's like
yeah.
I don't know, like
we need to go back to that. For sure.
Yeah, I think we need to, like, imagine if you made an album. Let's say you made an album, you're using nature sounds, and you tell people, yo, meet me in Karura Forest.
Karura Forest is
not even meet me,
because there's no trees in there anymore. They cut them down.
Oh man,
they cut all.
Sam. Okay, yeah, that's so sad. That's so sad.
No, but it's
so
true.
real.
It's true. Like they've chopped off whole forest areas.
But listen,
no birds
what if you
whatsoever in that place anymore.
What if you make like a cryptic note, and you're like, yo, you give people clues, they have to go to Karura Forest, and then maybe etched in like a tree somewhere random, like there's the information for your release date or something. I don't know, there's just like something cool there, like, and then now people have to actually do something and engage in something and document the process. I don't know.
Yeah, but so that kind of stuff is cool. I'm just thinking about, because when you say that immediately, I'm like, oh, but this is kind of corny. And the whole reason I think we've started seeing it as corny is because
corny is good, man.
But we've had.
Why is everyone trying to be so cool?
It depends on who you are, because we've had all this like abstract ideas as rollouts, like, oh, this person is dating this person, or someone is beefing with their label. Like, everything is just so abstract these days.
No. The regular, okay, but those ones are corny. Those ones are corny.
Yeah.
The examples you've given are corny.
No, but I'm saying, like, we've had that kind of stuff so much that the regular rollout Like, for example, like what Drake did, putting Ice in the City. A lot of people are like talking, making that a negative thing. But that's because it's like you expect him to go above and beyond to sell an album. Like sometimes it's just as easy as doing what he did, setting up a website.
But that's also because people. That's also because people hate Drake.
But even J. Cole got some flack because he was driving around in a car.
Yes, because people hate J. Cole.
I mean, you can't win. You can't win on the internet,
ever since J. Cole went against No Name that one time on social media.
Yeah, he's stopped being the poster boy. Yeah, because he was.
Yeah. Let me tell you, the amount of women I know who dislike J. Cole, astronomical. Like J. Cole is like his repitation is.
Didn't they piece it up too? Like, didn't they like?
Yeah, but who cares?
But
who cares
right?
about if they pieced it up? Anyway, more rollouts. We need better rollouts. We need more interactive rollouts.
We definitely need some of those in the Kenyan scene. We don't have much rolling out in the Kenyan music scene, honestly, if I'm being honest.
Well, I tell you what is rolling out.
Nice.
1RPM have been rolling out this stop laughing, Sam. If you keep laughing, no one will ever take me seriously on this podcast.
They shouldn't.
Like, come on, guys.
They shouldn't. But go ahead.
Anyway, so I was scrolling the interwebs and I saw Vijana Barubaru make a collaboration post with 1RPM.
Yep.
And it reads, "We are truly honored to be the first Kenyan artist to receive plaques from our distributors 1RPM KE. Gold plaques for Sasa Hivi and Nakupenda, silver plaques for Nisawa and Romantic Call. Big thank you to 1RPM for the continued support and strong partnership. Special shout out to Jennifer Maende, Creative Industries Lead, US Embassy Kenya, and Drew Gibling, Counselor for Public Affairs, US Embassy Kenya. Thank you for honoring us and the great work you're doing. We appreciate you." So, I mean, it's interesting. We've seen the likes of like Boomplay give out plaques to artists and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And looks like this is the next thing that 1RPM have been rolling out with the plaques and stuff like that. And I wanted to bring it into the podcast because I find plaques and this plaque culture very interesting in the sense that it's a good way to celebrate artistry. And I do think it's something that we need in this industry. I guess my question is, what exactly are the benefits of recognizing music via plaques? And then another question I have that I'm not too clear on is what the criteria for getting these plaques is. Like, how many streams or how many records do you have to sell to get a gold plaque or a silver plaque? So those are some of the things that I'm still not very clear on as regards the 1RPM plaque system. But I can see here on one of the songs they have 29 million and that's gold. So I don't know what the threshold is for gold. Maybe it's 20 million streams, which would equate to around about 20,000 records sold. I don't know. How do you feel about the whole plaques being introduced or reintroduced into the ecosystem?
I do like that. I like it. It adds a little bit more. It adds something interesting and exciting to the industry, in the sense that now people are able to like track numbers. We obviously are not an industry of, and by we I mean the Kenyan music industry, right? We obviously are not an industry of numbers. Maybe YouTube numbers. The recent couple of years we've been like, okay, like really looking for YouTube numbers, but that's something that's been very recent. But then we are not really an industry of numbers. And because we're not an industry of numbers, a lot of achievements get lost. Because numbers somehow dictate achievement, right? There's a way that they are important to those metrics. So introducing this kind of thing is useful for that. Because then now more people could be prouder of their music. And hey, look what I've done. Look what I've achieved. And it gives a little bit more weight to the value of the music, I think. So it's a very good idea. It's a good idea. It's obviously been done in other markets. Of course, the American market has plaques. I think the UK market has plaques. Latin America has plaques. So, of course, Africa will really greatly benefit with it. I've not seen it in many other industries, though. I've not seen like locally based institutions like 1RPM giving out plaques in Africa. Like now, for example, in different areas in Africa. Maybe they do in South Africa, maybe in Nigeria. I'm not sure. But then it's not something that we are very used to, at least in Africa. So yeah, it's a good idea, man. I think a lot of artists are going to be very happy about that.
But like I said, Boomplay definitely used to give plaques. I don't think they do anymore. I don't think Boomplay is a very big player in our industry at the moment. I don't know why they're not as prominent anymore. But I was looking at the criteria used for plaques from the RIAA organization, or the RIAA, like everybody who's cool likes to say. And I'm pretty sure the criteria is going to be very, very different than what I'm seeing here. So I went to their website, and so the way the RIAA do it is they have a gold certification, and then from gold you go to platinum, and then after platinum you go all the way to diamond status. Which is the highest certification that you can have. And then the plaques are separated from, so you can get plaques for your album, depending on how many units your album sold, or you could get a plaque for a single, depending on how many units your single sold. So the RIAA recognizes the following award tiers. So for the gold tier, you have to sell 500 units.
500,000.
500,000 units. That's what I meant to say. Which would be about, it would be over 50 million streams. Actually, excuse my math. It's not 50 million, it's 500 million streams. Yeah, 500,000 units would be around about 500 million streams. And then platinum, you have to sell 1 million units, which you could do the math, would be about 1 billion streams. And the diamond would be 10 million units, which is an obscene number
it's actually fascinating how people used to do diamond back in the day when they're just selling like physical copies. Like that's how how did you sell 10
million physical copies?
Yeah.
But you know how they used to do was because there was a lot of rebuying of CDs and vinyls because of this is hardware and wear and tear, and sometimes like people, like a CD could break or it could get scratched, and then you're like, yo, I want to listen to Get Rich or Die Trying, I'm just gonna buy a new CD. So there was a lot of like individuals who are buying multiple copies of records.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of that happening, and that doesn't happen now, because if you have streaming, like, okay, yeah, people re-listen to streams, but then also the value of a stream is not that high, so it takes a lot of re-listening for the streams to get to the thresholds
for example, Mwaki by Sofian Zhao and Zerb is on 396 million streams. Actually, it's 397 million streams on Spotify only. So that at some point, I guess it's because if you add Spotify plus the other streaming platforms plus YouTube plus Apple Music, then it should be above 500, which was one that was 500 million streams.
The gold certification.
Sorry. Which will qualify for the gold certification. So that's pretty interesting. I wonder if she can get a plaque for that, if they already have one.
Yeah. I think our model will be more likened to the Latin program. So the RIAA also, they give a a section for the Latin program. So in the Latin program, to get a gold certification, it's actually all you need to sell is 30,000 units. And if you're looking at those Vijana Barubaru numbers, the gold plaque, one of the songs has 29 million streams, which would be around about 30,000 units sold. So I feel like it's going to be more similar. So for the Latin program, gold is 30,000 units, platinum is 60,000 units, and diamond is 600,000 units. So these certifications are not consistent. Like it's contingent on the specific market in question.
Yeah.
So
there are no official numbers
for
for the African market, are there?
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a criteria for the 1 RPM certifications and stuff like that. So we just need to see what that is, or have them kind of, announce what that is. But like I'm saying, I think it's going to be highly similar to what the RIAA allot for the Latin market. So I would say for me, I would say the biggest thing about getting a certification is it gives you leverage, in the sense that, how in the beginning of the podcast we were talking about perception and okay, if people see you're doing well, just the way me, I remove my like when I see a TikTok has very few likes. Which is horrible, but there's a psychological effect that happens when you see artists have plaques on their wall. That success makes people want to be affiliated with that artist and that individual.
Yeah, it does.
And so I feel like it does. And so I feel like if you have a certification, more people are going to listen to your music. More brands and corporates are going to give you a little bit of a listening ear. It kind of increases the value or the perceived value of music.
Perceived is important. Yeah, it's perceived value. It is. Along with that, I think having plaques also gives, like I said earlier, it gives the artists something to look forward to. Numbers obviously are a weird thing in the industry, and we have a love-hate relationship with them. But then having plaques is some artists might take music a little bit more seriously, because now there's a tangible medal at the end of it, right? And so that's something positive that could come out of it. So you're like, all right, I really want to make a good song that speaks to as many people as possible, in hopes of getting some sort of recognition for it, right? There's a clear indication of recognition now that artists could have, if you do get a plaque for the music that you're making. And it's good to have that as a reminder, because then you order for the plaque and then you get it. It's good to have that as a reminder of, all right, this song did this, and then it creates more memories, I think. So, and that's the sentimental part of it. But I think that's also important in terms of, apart from just the business aspect, it's important to have.
I have a live question to ask you, Sam. If you take away reward and accolades from the music industry and stuff like that, would you still be making music?
Oh man, it's bold of you to assume that I'm getting any of that right now. Of course I'll be making music. I'll make music if it was sitting in my... It goes back to that whole is art without people listening to it. I'll still be making music. For me, music does something for me first before it does anything for me internally, before it's an external thing. So definitely, I think I would be making music. Well, let me not say that boldly. You can't be 100%. You can't be 100% about anything. But yeah, what about you? Do you think? I feel like you'd be out. I feel like you'd be out.
No, what the hell? No. What type of narrative are you painting?
My bad.
No, no one can replace that feeling. You know that feeling when you make something fire and you're in your room and you make a hard beat, and then you stand up, you play it on the speakers, and you're just vibing to your own, and you're like, the world doesn't even know. The world doesn't even know what I've made in my headphones right now. And you're just that feeling is one of the best feelings you can ever have as a human being.
True.
Knowing that you created something from nothing.
Yeah, that's top three feelings ever, and it's not number 3.
And it's not number 3, and it's now one of the most meaningful things to you anyway. Nah, that feeling is unbeatable. So for that reason, I think I would still make music if there was no like accolades or money attached to it. But then again, that stuff is very important, and it's a huge motivation factor.
A very huge motivation factor. It's interesting. Another thing about plaques, I think, of course, now the drawbacks of plaques are sometimes it could lead to an industry that's chasing numbers. Like there's always that fear that now people are just going to be trying to manufacture.
Okay, but
numbers.
what's wrong? What's wrong with chasing numbers?
Well, okay, chasing numbers sometimes is chasing numbers solely. I mean, sometimes is linked to inauthenticity. So you're doing it for a check rather than doing it for the love. And so those are the two worlds that an artist has to navigate, I guess, as their living, because you do need to make money from your music, right? But at the same time,
I mean,
it has to be authentic. It should be authentic. Not all the time.
The detracting factor of chasing numbers is it's going to encourage a lot of people to begin faking numbers and then using bots, using streaming farms, etc. But if we're removing that and we're assuming, okay, people are chasing numbers, but they're chasing numbers ethically, and it's like, okay, who can get the most numbers, like organically and stuff like that, I don't think that's a bad thing, because that just like the industry needs competition. The industry needs people who are always breaking boundaries ethically, because there's no point having a song that has 1 billion streams and then they've just faked 80% of that, that just doesn't help anyone. But you get what I'm saying. Like if there's artists motivated to always like be upping the ante, like for example, like how Bien's finale did like 15 million in 3 weeks. If that motivated an artist to ethically want to beat that target in 3 weeks with good music, then I think it's a win-win.
Yeah, but the key of that is with good music, because then what chasing numbers would also do is make a lot of people copycats, and it just there's more incentive to be not more, but then there's incentive to be inauthentic in music, and just because you saw this do this well, then that's what we're going to do. That's what I'm going to do as an artist, because I also want a plaque on my wall. That's not something new, obviously. It's something that we've seen in the industry. Came on with once we started counting numbers and streaming and all that business, and even just back then looking at record sales and whatnot, and people copying for it. It just ends up people just end up copying for numbers solely, which is a problem that I don't know if we're going to have that problem here. I feel like our industry is still very green and very authentic. So it is a good idea, though. I think it's a good. Wait, so do AI artists get plaques as well?
Hopefully not. Hopefully,
are we going to be dishing out
not
plaques to AI creators? Is that what we're going to be doing with our lives now?
You raise a good question, because I mean, if it's music that's made, okay, so there's a correlation with AI music and botting, right? Because a lot of the music that's uploaded that's like 100% AI generated, like those people are doing fraudulent things and they're using bots to enhance this, because it's a streaming farm. It's a way to make money. But there's certain people who like that Xavier Monet or whatever her name is, like there's a lot of people, the humans listening to AI music.
Yeah.
I guess the creators of this AI, they may deserve plaques, I guess, because it's humans who have listened to it. So it's
they should get a foil plaque. There's like gold and silver and bronze.
A foil one.
Yeah.
No, they should get AI plaques, digital plaques. Give them a digital plaque.
Maybe. Yeah, like an NFT. Give them something.
Yeah, like an NFT. Yeah, exactly. Give them NFTs for plaques
online. But yeah, I guess that's an interesting aspect of it. But and how they're going to incorporate that into the plaque rules. But I don't know if that's something we should worry about. at least in the local industry. Maybe we should.
Yeah.
Maybe we should. I don't know.
But speaking of AI, so I don't know if you saw, but recently Spotify have rolled out a way to label music as having AI integrated within it.
Yeah. That's been in the talks for a while.
It's been in the talks. This is something that was rolled out, I want to say like a week ago. So it's very new. And it's only so basically what they're doing is it's going to be down to the artist to upload and say this music has AI or AI elements as part of the creativity of this music. For example, if you use the guitar line that's generated by AI or your vocals are generated by AI, you can say this specific part of the music was generated by AI. Right now, it's not this technology or this beta form of what Spotify have rolling out. I think right now they've only partnered with like DistroKid, so I'm sure you can do it on DistroKid, but there's certain like distributors that don't have this capability yet, so not everybody's gonna be able to do it as of now because it's still in the beta period. But I think it's definitely a step forward. But what it means is not all music that's AI will have a label. It's just music that's AI that the person who uploaded it decided to disclose that this is AI. That's what's going to be labeled.
Yeah, so if the artist decides not to say that this was made with AI,
then you still won't know.
We still won't know. And just on top of that, I think because I was reading a little bit on that, and some DSPs use like AI detectors on their own, and then label, or rather, there's talks about DSPs using AI detectors on their own, and then labeling the whatever song that is as AI, and so rather than having the artists do it, they just do it themselves. Of course, that's controversial because then are your detectors real? Are they accurate? Are they able to detect?
How accurate are they?
Exactly. Yep. Yeah. So that's the other route that they can take. Is where rather than having the artists do it themselves, if they want to protect themselves completely from AI or be as because it's all transparency. That's what this whole thing is about. Be as transparent as they can. Then they'll rather do it themselves. Use technology software that they have themselves to detect AI and then label it. All in all, I mean, this is something we've been talking about in terms of it would be good for us to know at least it was made in some way. The whole problem with AI though is that now, like as an artist, what if as an artist I generate the melodies, the vocal melodies and the guitar parts and everything? I put in the prompt and then I bring in like real guitarists and real vocalists to redo what that AI have done.
Then it will never be detected. I don't think. How would you detect that?
Yeah, but then so if you recreate
that's a good business proposition, though.
So it's a
Think
way around
about it. Because AI can make an infinite amount of music, right?
Yeah. Well,
so if you
as many as your plan allows you to.
Yeah, so if you decide, I'm going to tell AI to make me 50 songs, and then I get like highly capable artists, songwriters, and instrumentalists to but that just loses the.
It's like what people do with sampling. It's like when you can't clear the sample, you just bring in people to interpolate. So now people are going to be interpolating AI, but then that defeats the whole purpose, though, because if you can bring together a band to create the music, why not just do that in the first place?
Exactly. Like you're asking the right questions, man. But yeah, me personally, I'm very, very happy that this is becoming a reality in terms of the labeling. But listen, so, our opinions about AI they're quickly evolving and stuff like that.
We're hating. Is what we're doing. We're hating on AI.
No, me, I'm an AI hater. I'm not going to lie. But I feel like, so there's this person I listen to on Instagram, and I'm giving you guys the sauce here, like for real. If you guys want to like be tapped into what's happening in the music industry, you should listen to a lady called Christine Robinson. She works at Billboard. And she's... Yeah, Big Chris. Big Chris. Big Chris is actually she's so tapped in, and she also has a podcast, and she talks to like the real people who are like moving and shaking in the industry. And she was just kind of talking about how there's actually been a decline in interest of AI music, especially among the younger generation. And I think that's real. Like, I don't think AI music has really caught on as much as I thought it would. I feel like the boomers are the people who get very impressed by AI music.
Yeah,
and
those
are the ones
singing,
who are
the
like,
singing cats. Oh, they love a cat that's performing and doing dances. Oh my, they love that stuff.
So that gives me a bit of solace. I feel a bit like, okay, you know what? Yeah, actually, the kids are okay. Like, not everyone is like super impressed by AI and listening to AI heavy, unless of course you don't know.
Yeah. Maybe that's because of the discourse around it. Again, it goes to social media. I think there's been a lot of negativity on social media. So maybe a lot of the younger people are like, you know what, I don't want to tap into this. But then at some point it's going to become popular again. That I know for sure. It's not the AI age is not dead. AI right now is what we thought robots were going to be in the future. Like in the 2000s, people were saying that, or rather in the 1970s, people were saying that around 2020, 2030, there's going to be robots walking around. We've not gotten there yet. Actually, we have. But then AI is really
We have.
Yeah.
Bro, man, I saw a robot the other day sprinting 100 meters, bro. That thing was moving. It was moving, man. Yo, listen, we're there.
Oh,
and listen, that's this, and usually the stuff that we see is usually the low level. Yeah, the stuff we see like publicly available is usually like the low level technology.
Yeah.
Like militaries, especially like the US military and stuff like that, those guys will have access to like futuristic stuff,
and they already have access to like the advanced AI models. Like we are using the consumer stuff, we're using the basic level things. I think they would have advanced levels to, advanced AI models, advanced models with advanced capabilities that they're able to use to calculate deeper things and whatnot. And I'm sure the governments obviously are probably have the most advanced.
This is a topic for a more serious podcast than ours. But there is something to be said about how some of the greatest technological advancements in humanity are always driven by like the military and war and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And a lot of those advancements, they get repurposed into like everyday life. Like once the military and stuff,
why can't I have like a little nuclear kit why can't I buy a nuclear kit from the supermarket, like a small one?
Like why aren't like the best technological like advancement being made for the sake of like this regular life? But anyway, that's another conversation for another podcast.
What would you use an atomic bomb for? I
I'm not talking about atomic bombs and stuff like that, but like there's rumors like even the cell phone was developed as a military thing. Like things like that, you know what I mean? Anyway, it is what it is. Human beings will human and be horrible. Is there anything else in terms of like music news, in terms of things that are happening in the scene right now? I guess I want to say congratulations to Uaya. He scored his biggest solo hit with Chaya Sakumi, which has reached number 2 on Apple Music Kenya. Sam, do you want to tell me the story you were telling me before the podcast about Uaya Tajiri? Or is that a shareable thing?
I guess. Oh, I was trying to wonder what you're talking about. No. So I was watching. This is just like it's almost like a nothing story. But then I was watching the Bills to Billboards episode 2. They're releasing the episodes. And okay. Anyway, let me just talk about what I was talking about. I was watching the episodes, and on episode 2, because Iwai is the one who's helping them out with songwriting. So he was giving a little bit of his backstory and the grind that he had to put in to get where he was. Like he was working at I think it was Soul Generation, and then left, and then trying to figure out how he can get into the industry in terms of songwriting. He wasn't originally a songwriter, according to him. So he just like worked on songs and was sending BN songs like weekly, constantly sending him songs until he was called into the camp. to work in the camp, I think, for South Soul. So it's just very cool. Like, that's the kind of grind that you almost have to do. Like, people will look at why I think it's just hard. I mean, it's just talent alone, and he's very talented, obviously. And there's thought to what he does, but then at the back of it, you have to like want it. And it's just that grind. So it's cool. It's cool to see a lot of that. Like as an artist, it must be good to like really hustle that much, almost to the point of embarrassment, and then see it pay off. So shout out to him. Shout out to him for sure.
No, so the conversation Sam and I were having is that, if you want something, you have to also know or work at it with the mindset of somebody wants it way more than you.
Yeah, there's 10, 20 people who want it 100 times more than you. So how are you going to get it?
So I was telling Sam, like, recently I was on TikTok, and there's this producer called Rio Leva. He's like known for being part of Internet Money, which is a production collective that has greatly influenced me as an individual. Anyway, so he was saying there was a period where they were trying to work for Drake's album. I think it was Her Loss or something like, I don't know which album it was. Anyway, so it was like, there was a time we were grinding, and I was grinding. And he was like, oh, so how many, so the guy who was like, how many beats were you making? And then he was like, I was making 500 beats a month.
That's, if you're a beat maker, like, you know how ridiculous that is.
If you're a producer,
you know
that's
how
crazy.
Absolutely ridiculous
that's
that
crazy.
is. Even with the use of like samples and whatnot, it's still
that
a
means you're
ridiculous
making
number.
12 beats a day. Do you know how hard it is to make 12 beats a day?
I'm cool. That's difficult. That's crazy.
It's not easy to like have that amount of output. And I was just thinking, bro, there's people out there who really, really want success. And so if you want it, you have to know that that's what you're going up against, and work harder than what those people are doing.
Yeah.
And that's why somebody like Yaya Tajiri is where he is today,
Yeah.
And he absolutely deserves it.
Congratulations to him. Congratulations
to Yaya Tajiri. You want to talk about new music? Unless there's anything else.
There's nothing else. Let's get as we get into new music. There was the announcement of Wakadinali releasing 3 solo projects on the same day, which is,
yeah, I can tell you with my attention span that
you'd be listening to approximately half of the one. Oh man, you need to change, bro.
I'll struggle. I'll struggle.
No, but you can pace them out. You don't have to listen to them all on the same day. But that would be that's really interesting. That's fascinating. I don't know why they chose to do that. It'd be interesting to see how they navigate that. Of course, they're probably going to be featured on each other's albums. But yeah, that's going to be a lot of music from Wakadinali. I don't know if
45 songs in one day. That's Chris Brown level of
yeah.
saturating the market.
It's a Wakadinali extended album, honestly, at that point. Side A, side B, and side C. Side Ska, side Munga, and side is that meant to say? No, anyway, but we're looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. Like I'd be excited to see how they pull that off. But apart from that, a couple of other releases were announced and dropped. Actually, were dropped. The first song I went to was Toxic Lyrically's Hate, because Toxic is still one of the names in hip hop, and he dropped Hate. Hate was, for me, I enjoyed it. I think it was very interesting. It's along the lines of his more high production singles. He's been releasing a couple of just like fillers, for lack of a better word, and some collaborations and whatnot. But then this is like a Toxic Lyrically song now, where he's like talking how he usually does, and I really enjoy that. It's a bit slower than what we are probably used to, and so it might take a little bit of time before like it grows on you and you're attuned to it. But then I think it's still good music. So shout out to Toxic. Lovers Jukebox. Tuku Kanto has been releasing a couple of singles in the past few weeks. It finally dropped the album Lovers Jukebox. It is 8 songs, runs for 30 minutes. Features Mudaka, features Ilania, features Miss Kamweru, Mordecai Dex, and Gogo Ashley. It's an interesting project. A couple of different sounds on there. It's very Afro R&B-ish. There's a lot of compa on there as well. Run, Hendrik Sam, leading that. So it was interesting. I do need to sit down. Like I feel like I say this about everything, but then I need to sit down and listen to that a bit more. Yeah, and then there was a bit of rapping as well. So Toxic dropped. Trio Mio and Cosine Black released a song called Sharp Boy. This was interesting to me. I really like Trio Mio's rapping. I think Trio Mio is a brilliant rapper. I feel like Trio doesn't get enough. He's not talked about enough, like in terms of like the rappers conversation. I think maybe that's because he came into the game is kind of corny, but he came into the game when he was like really young, or rather younger. So maybe it's going to take a bit of time for him to get there. But he's very lyrical, like with his rapping. He's really, really lyrical, and he has some of the qualities that a lot of people like in terms of rapping, where you can be a bit humorous, but then you can also like switch and be very like tough and say like real things. Cosine Black is like a new discovery for me, not from this song, but then recently. And I think it's also a really good lyricist as well. So it was a good song. The hook I felt like was a little bit, I feel like the verses shined on the track. But yeah, I enjoyed that. Did you pay attention to that? Are you a fan of Trio?
I actually, well, I wouldn't say I'm a huge fan of Trio. I listened to this song.
Yeah.
I don't have a big breakdown like you do. I thought it was a cool listen. I think Trio is dope in the sense that he's very unique. Like his voice is very unique.
Yeah.
And the way he approaches the music, and that's like a huge like leverage factor for him.
It is.
Yeah, that was a nice release.
It is. And a couple more releases. I listened to Mapenzi Sumu by Winyo. Absolutely loved it. I like when Winyo releases music on his own, because he's been dabbling in Afro House recently. But I do like his music. I think he's a fantastic artist. Honestly, there's a lot of authenticity that shines through his music. And Mapenzi Sumu was a good example of that. His album art was interesting. I think Winyo, there's like an old school vibe about him, but then he also has like a thing where he's trying to be modern. And so it's like an interesting juxtaposition of what he's trying to do. But yeah, I definitely enjoy that. You go. What do you pay attention to?
You go. Okay, so I listened to Freaky. I watched the video by Genesis and XO. Shout out to Geno. Yeah, Genesis, whenever he releases music, it always has like a summery feel to it. Like, you know, like we're in the summer and like it's about to be a good time.
Yeah, he releases feel good music.
Genesis can... Yeah, and he can sing. He can genuinely sing. So, yeah, you'll go check that out. I also listened to the album by MDQ and Blinky Bill. Now It's Experience Talking, which I will use this moment to shout out as my album cover art of the week. I think that was the most compelling artwork that came out this week.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that's like a bird flying
with wings around it.
That's like the sun, or something.
And then text.
I don't know, but it's just nice. It has a nice. It has nice texture to it. I like things with texture. Anyone who knows me knows I like things with texture. You know, it feels like there's a grain and stuff like that. I just love it. I love like, I'm not a huge fan of like writings on albums, but this looks clean. And so I like it. It's nice. It's experience talking via artwork form. And so that would be my artwork pick of the week. So shout out to the artist who made that. So into the music breakdown, I think it's a very interesting project. You know, Blinky Bill is known for his very raw production, and then the drums and the bass, like, and he'll take elements of, like, you know, African sounds and horns and live, like it feels like he records like just live stuff and then just adds his own vibe to it. You know, production wise, Blinky Bill reminds me a lot of Mr. Lou. Him and Mr. Lou have like a similarity.
It's a very raw sound.
Yeah, it's a very raw like sound, but it's also very Kenyan. And so yeah, he collabs with Mudhoni, the drama queen, on this project. It's a very electronic-y sounding. I feel like this would be categorized as electronic music.
It should be. Afro electronic.
It's like Afro electronic.
Not Afro house. Not Unz.
It's not Afro house
not
for
Unz.
sure. It's definitely not Unz. The only feature on this project is Boutros, which was very interesting. So Boutros always does this rhyme scheme, which he did in this one. Is it a rhyme scheme? No, it's a flow scheme. Like he has a specific flow he uses sometimes, which he uses in this song, Sinamakosa. And then so for me, the standout in this project is definitely Aina Moja. I think that's the best song. And in my opinion, I would have led with Aina Moja as the lead single over Bazoo. I think Aina Moja is just way more compelling as a song, and it's just so catchy. Like the hook is really, really catchy. So yeah, it's an interesting listen.
Sometimes people don't want to release their most catchy songs as the best song on the album as the lead. They sort of want to release the B or the C tier or the C tier, so that when you discover that one song on the project, like, you're blown away. Sometimes that's people's strategy.
I get it, but I think putting your best foot forward is always the best tactic, because we live in a moment in time where getting people's attention to you is very hard. And if you release something and it doesn't quite catch people's attention, they'll just like let it pass by,
but
because
that's the fear
there's
that
somebody else who's gonna. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for me personally, I always like, and I think even that affects how I structure music when I'm making beats nowadays. Do you remember how back in the day we used to make really long intros and then the beat drops and stuff like that? Nowadays, I start gun swinging, kick, snare,
just the whole
bass.
thing.
We're starting.
We're
already there.
Right into it.
Yeah, because you only have like 2 seconds to capture people's attention.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're done. You know what I mean? And so you always have to start with your best foot. So for me, I would say, start with the best song, which for me was Aina Moja. So yeah, I listened to that. And then I also want to shout out my guy, nigga SHAWN, and for Mr. Frank White. They released the song BIDHAA.
GTA music.
Some GTA music, some GTA artwork. It's such a coincidence, because I mentioned Bongo La Biashara last week, and then this week they sampled that song to make BIDHAA. So shout out to them.
Yeah.
It's bold, because Bongo La Biashara is a classic. So hopping on that and spinning it your own way is a bold decision. But I think they worked their magic on that, and the artwork is also really good. I've never seen Frank White associated with anything that had mid artwork. And then I also listened to Ayaya by Joshua Baraka, BN. I think. I don't know if this is the producer, but Element LA. I don't know too much about Element LA. Do you know? I don't know too much about them. But yeah, it was a bop. Like, I like how they were in certain verses, they were going back to back. I like it when artists do that. So shout out to JB and BN. I would say, I also listened to Once by Ochungulo Family, who I just listened to for the funny bars. He has a line, Benzema has a line where he says Haga Khan. You can, you know what context that would be.
Oh my goodness.
That Haga Khan line is just so funny. So
those guys
shout out to Ochungulo
I think they just have
Family.
writing camps of just like lines.
100%.
Yeah.
You don't anyway. So I guess the song I'd wanna play for the end of.
Sorry for interrupting you. Before we get
go
there,
ahead.
there are 2 songs I want to shout out. Legally by Petrus. We usually know Petrus to be the very like musical artist, like it's instruments, it's the horns, guitars, and everything. He just dropped a song called Legally. It's just rapping.
But bro, the backing vocals on that song are hilarious, man. Have you listened to just listen to the backing vocals?
It's hilarious, man.
It's so hilarious.
Yeah, so I found that interesting because usually we know Petrus for other stuff, but then he was actually rapping on here. Like it was engaging at least. But I thought it was a good song. I think it was a good song. It's very catchy. And the other song I'd like to shout out is Chef K and Sersky. I talked about them last podcast. They released a song called Nairobi Chant. Click on Nairobi Chant and then go to like the switch up at like 3 minutes. Those guys are on. They're on a different type of time. And I think they also announced their projects. I think it's a 4-song project that they're dropping soon. So, shout out to the boys creating some of that GCOM / It's like a mix between a whole bunch of things. It's really creative. I like it.
Okay, so for the pick of the week, I would like to propose we play the song Last Night by GTB EMZEE and Thelathini, aka 30. I listened to this. Actually, the first thing I saw about this song was the promo. Like they dropped like a promo video on Instagram, and I was like, "Yo, wait, this is actually hard." Like they were by like some tanks, some water tanks, and I was like, "Okay." And then the song comes out, and I'm like, "Wait, this is the Metro Boomin." Like 21 Savage arrangement when it comes to like the song structure and the beats.
The use of the sample.
And the use of the sample as well. And they actually pulled it off. And I think this is something worth playing on the podcast. So we've played Thelathini on the podcast before, but we haven't played GTB EMZEE. So you guys get ready to listen to their song Last Night.
Last night nilikuwa all alone, nikimedi nilikuwa on my zone, nilikuta na pimbi nikamshow hizi ndo ujinga muas condone. Last night nilikuwa na painting ana Monroe nikaeni huda, na bado last night kulikuwa scene wengi walibaki wamenuna.
Last night nilikuwa mandom busy kejani nkisa kama form, niko field kapla na perform magode na kinda magiza lidon. Last night alintolea tongu kukando wa reze na nchore maplot, bado nko wera stop we ops kejani magudi mejana wa crop.
Me know the one, never the two. Well address, kana the winning team. Juu hapa anakukuketi kwa fence. Ilibaki nibadilishe specs, ndo ni wa check in a different lens. Natokea stage like vest, ndo ni wa show, mi na invest. Niko juu ya kipara, na niko paranoid sina paraphernalia. Ni ukweli yang G, masaa who made na kwela. Mi na 30 kwa stu, rhymes iko more than 30 ni several. Nikilipa na maboka wela, boy na kufanya go ewa.
Kalmate mama usivex natokea na EMZEE kuja correct. All this paper I'm glad to get na shoot shot blind izame connect. Wanabanja upuzi kwa neck kanimboka IGP on to the next. Wanajua my set na rap na roga kwa beat kaniko possessed. MC na chafua deck na kataga blue ice ni feel best. Bad B amejaza hiyo back mgongo bado ako good to the neck. You see kuzoza my sector kujezi pande juda regret. Kuningora buda repent kidogo nkugeuze ganji za rent.
You just listened to Last Night by GTB EMZEE and Thelathini, aka 30. Shout out to both of them. I think they really did a good job on this song. And you know who else did a good job? You, Sam. You did a good job on this podcast today.
Don't grade me. Don't grade me on my podcasting abilities. Thank you.
This is where you say, you know who else did a good job? Afam, you did a good job. Yeah, Afam. So where
you just said this whole thing up so I can tell you that you did a good job.
Maybe.
Hey, yo, man. Thank you guys for listening. We appreciate you. Yeah, man. And to all the artists that are releasing music, I don't think we've forgotten about it. Don't use AI art. Like look at people doing like really cool art. Go do cool art as well.
Yeah.
We've had like 2 weeks of like very decent art. So please.
Yeah, like
chase plaques.
Come on, guys. Just be authentic with the way you're making your music. If you're new on this podcast, I like to end the podcast with the 3 C's, which is a mantra that I devised for myself. And I decided I want to share it on the podcast. The first C being confidence. Always be confident in your work. Be confident in yourself. If you're not confident in yourself, no one is going to be confident for you. Number 2, consistency, which in my opinion is better than talent. Consistency beats talent every single time. The people who get remembered are the people who put in the work. And number 3, craft. Always work on your craft. Every day, do something related to your chosen craft. And trust me, the improvement is going to be astronomical. And with those very
astronomical words,
few words that lasted about an hour, Sam and I,
signing out
from the bottom of our hearts, I want to tell you guys. Okay,
maybe
from Sam it's like 3/4
yeah,
down.
maybe the midway through.
65%.
65% of my heart. No.
Yeah, we just want to say thank you. And oh my God, this was the end of the 170s. So we will see you guys on the straight line. Gonna see you guys on the straight line of an episode, aka episode 180.
Oh, geez.
We out.
All right.